Now we must sleep. In Genesis chapter 28, verse 10, Jacob left Beersheba and went toward Haran. And he came to a certain place and stayed there that night, before the sun had set. Taking one of the stones of the place, he put it under his head and lay down in that place to sleep. And he dreamed, and behold, there was a ladder set upon the earth, and the top of it reached to heaven. And behold, the angels of God were ascending and descending on it. And behold, the Lord stood above it and said, I am the Lord, the God of Abraham your father, and the God of Isaac. The land on which you lie, I will give to you and your offspring. Your offspring shall be like the dust of the earth. And you shall spread abroad to the west and to the east and to the north and to the south. And in you and your offspring shall all the families of the earth be blessed. Behold, I am with you and will keep you wherever you go. And I will bring you back to this land, for I will not leave you until I have done what I have promised you. Then Jacob, awoke from his sleep and said, Surely the Lord is in this place, and I did not know it. And he was afraid and said, How awesome is this place! This is none other than the house of God, and this is the gate of heaven. Understand that Yahweh speaks to us in our dreams. Have you ever wondered why you are not hearing the Lord's voice? It's not that he is not there and speaking to you. It is because you are too distracted with things happening in this world. Most only have silence when? In their sleep. And likewise, that is where you hear Yeshua our Messiah and Yahweh in dreams, just as Yaakov did. Now, also do to remember Genesis chapter 30, verse 22. Then God remembered Rachel, and God listened to her and opened her womb. She conceived and bore a son and said, God has taken away my reproach. And she called his name Joseph, saying, May the Lord add to me another son. So now remember this, that Yahweh never forgets about us, and he will always do what is willed at the time best suited for us, just as he remembered Jacob's true love, but second wife, who was barren and did not conceive any children for Jacob, just as he did for Sarah at the time when it was willed for Sarah to conceive Isaac for her and Abraham. Now, in Genesis chapter 31, we remember that Jacob heard that the sons of Laban were saying, Jacob has taken all that was our father's, and from what was our father's he has gained all his wealth. And Jacob saw that Laban did not regard him with favor as he did once before. Then the Lord said to Yaakov, Return to the land of your fathers and to your kindred, and I will be with you. So Jacob sent and called Rachel and Leah into the field where his flock was, and said to them, I see that your father does not regard me with favor as he did once before, but the God of my father has been with me. You know that I have served your father with all of my strength. Yet your father has cheated me and changed my wages 10 times, but God did not permit him to harm me. If he said, The spotted shall be your wages, then all the flock bore spotted. And if he said, The striped shall be your wages, then all the flock bore striped. Thus God has taken away the livestock of your father and given them to me. In the breeding season of the flock I lifted up my eyes and saw in a dream that the goats that made it with the flock were striped, spotted, and mottled. Then the angel of God said to me in a dream, Jacob. And I said, Here I am. And he said, Lift up your eyes and see, all the goats that mate with the flocks are striped, spotted, and mottled. For I have seen all that Laban is doing to you. I am the God of Bethel, where you anointed a pillar and made a vow to me. Now arise, go out from the land and return to your land, to the land of your kindred. Then Rachel and Leah answered and said to him, Is there any portion or inheritance left for us in our father's house? Are we not regarded by him as foreigners? For he has sold us, and he has indeed devoured our money. All the wealth that God has taken away from our father belongs to us and to our children. Now then, whatever God has said to you, do. So now, when we do receive what is given to us from Yahweh with the blessings, we should more than ever be out for listening to Yahweh and Yeshua's voice, because if not, all that was given could quickly be taken away. Because remember now that if our forefather Jacob, Yaakov, did not listen to Yahweh after he was given all that he had from Yahweh, that Laban and his sons may have set out to kill Jacob from jealousy. So listen for Yahweh and Yeshua's voice and go when they tell you to. Now, whoever is wise, let him understand these things. Whoever is discerning, let him know them. For the ways of the Lord are right, and the upright walk in them, but transgressors stumble in them. May Yahweh bless you and keep you. May Yahweh cause his face to shine upon you and be gracious to you. May Yahweh lift up his countenance upon you and give you shalom.